to the fact that we are reviewing and assessing tomorrow. I have to look, I don't know. 26 plus 33i. 20 plus 33i. 16 plus 47i. 11 plus 64.
What's going on?
Okay, number 5. Negative 10 minus 17i. 6. Negative 14 minus 18i. 7. Negative 11 plus 12i. And then you got 8, 9, and 10. So in 8, you had to distribute and combine like terms. In 9, you had to distribute and combine like terms. And then in 10, that's the one that has like that weird box after it. So you had to distribute and combine like terms. Okay, questions on that front. So remember, I acts like a variable. So you add and subtract i's from each other like they're x's. When you multiply i's together, they're also like a variable. So I times I is I squared. And then you have to remember your rule of i's. So I is I squared is negative 1, I cubed is negative I, and I to the 4th is positive 1. Okay, number 11 and 12. Okay, number 13 and 14. So now in 13 and 14, well, guess what's in 13? You're foiling. So it's first, outer, inner, last. Always changing I squared to negative 1 and combining like terms. 15 and 16. Now in 16 we have a case in which the middle terms cancel, and therefore you end up with a numerical answer because all the i's cancel. Okay, jumping over to practice 5-4. So the top part, those are additive inverses. Remember that the additive inverse means the opposite. So if it's a positive, then it becomes a negative. If it's a positive, it becomes a negative. If it's a negative, it becomes a positive. And so that process continues. Questions are all on additive inverse. Okay, 9, 10, and 11 are simplifying radicals, some with negatives, some without. Remember, any negative radical you must remove the negative as an I. Okay, so these are all mixed. You have some i's, you have some adding and subtracting, you have some square roots for simplifying. So the idea was to get you to keep doing all different types of processes in all different orders so that you could really get a good understanding of what to do. So 12 was 2, 13, 0, 14, I got a lot of questions about 14. So the 4 minus, they're not like terms. So you just simplify the square root of negative 25, which became negative 5i because the negative tags along. That negative is the I, and 25 is a perfect square. How are we doing so far? You don't see the what?
Oh no, like I don't know. Whenever it's I squared, I never like multiply it by negative 1. I just left it as is.
Okay. So we'll fix that today.
Yeah.
And then it won't be an issue tomorrow. All right, number 21 through 26. Okay, 27 to 32. So again, in 32, you have what we call a difference of squares in factored form. So when you FOIL them together, the positive and negative in the middle cancel. That I squared turns to a negative 1, and you get a numerical number answer. It doesn't matter here if the square root's in the front or the beginning. The order you write them also doesn't matter. So 4i plus 2 or 2 plus 4i are the same thing. They're both correct. Yes. Sure. So 25, 24, 25, and 26 are all negative square roots, which means all of their answers get an I. After you bring out all of the i's, then you simplify the radicals. And again, to simplify a radical, you are looking for the largest perfect square that goes into that number. You take the square root of your perfect square, and then the leftovers stay underneath. Yes?
24 and 26, can you simplify them with different numbers?
You can, but like your answer, did you try to divide it maybe by like 8?
I divided it by 4 and 12.
Okay, so then did you have 2 I squared roots of 12?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's partially done. It's just that the square root of 12 simplifies further because it contains the square root of 4 still. So you would have to simplify the square root of 12. Okay, and then that takes us to the bottom. So again, I want you to recognize the difference from 34 to 35. This one has a negative, therefore we distribute and add or subtract them together. Here, the parentheses are side by side, which means we FOIL. So there is a difference from 34 to 35. Yes. Did you take out like a 10? Now, when you took it out, you have to make sure you leave it though. So you had 10 parentheses 1 minus I. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, same thing. Yep, those are all good. And then remember that for numbers like 42, 43, and 44, your answer can only be one of 3 answers. It can be an I, a negative I, a negative 1, or a positive 1. Odd powers will always have an I in their answer. Even powers will always be a 1 or negative 1. Okay, and then the final 6. Alright, so to help you review today, we are going to play bingo. Bingo. So I'm going to give you a bunch of answers. So you need to take out a blank sheet of paper. There's some in the windowsill. And you're going to create for yourself a bingo board. So a bingo board is a 5x5 area. Yeah.
If I win at bingo, then we take the test first. Deal or no?
No deal.
We were not talking about this.
Okay, so remember, a bingo board looks like this. It's a 5 by 5. That is a 4 by 4. Don't look at that. Make it 5 by 5. Yes. And okay, so here's the deal. Make sure your bingo board is inclusive of any of those numbers up there, and you get one free space. The most logical free space is to place it in the center of the board. You can place it where you want. Now, do not erase. If you're using a pencil, there cannot be erase marks wherever you write down your values. So, like as we play the game, like do not change your box. Like once you fill in a number, you got to keep it there.
I feel like since I wasn't here, I deserve bonus points. Because
You can feel however you want to feel, but your feelings don't really change what I do.
Are you saying this part?
A roller? I don't. I don't teach geometry. I don't have a roller. Use your phone. It's kind of like a straight edge. You could fold the paper. I don't know. It doesn't have to be perfect. The second pages in your packet are not homework where it says like review. I will post the answer key to that today, so you can use that to study at your own free will tonight or tomorrow morning before class. So we'll just post the answer keys to that extra review packet in our pages. Okay, we'll take about 2 more minutes to finish those boards. What do you like to know? Okay, are we good? What?
How many are on here?
1 million. We're only 2 extras. You need 24 spaces and there are 26 numbers. That's enough with the meowing. You're not funny.
Whoever is doing that, this is so incredibly obnoxious.
I think you'd be more effective at filling in your board if you stopped speaking. Alright guys, in order to give you enough time to review, we have to move on. So, I hope you filled in your boards.
I'm relying on my top half right now. Sorry.
What are we gonna do with this?
I've spent so long trying to get my board straight.
Okay, problem number 1. 5 plus 3i minus 7 plus 2i.
Mr. Friday, we need
Okay, so hopefully you were able to, on your board, find the answer, -2 plus I. I will not be reading you off all of the answers. I'm just giving you the first couple so that you can understand what to do. Okay, problem number 2. Okay, and the correct answer for B is 34 minus 27i. Okay, letter D. I skipped C because I wanted to.
I was thinking probably so clearly.
What?
What was the answer for the last?
Okay, next.
Okay, but what was the answer to the last one? You were gonna tell us the answer. You showed us the answer to B. I mean, I wasn't.
just look up. I need to talk to this. I'm not doing this. Stop laughing.
All right, next.
Why you got your top row filled in? Did you not fill in your board? No, I made spots. I have 11. I'm just like, because I filled one in. Yeah, this is what I'm working with right now. I can get that aggro. No, I can't. I can't get anything. Alright, let me adjust my board so I have a chance. I know there will be a eraser mark, but it's okay. Screw it over.
Okay, next problem. This is a FOIL problem.
Okay, I filled in what I think the eraser is.
It's not on the board.
45.
Yeah.
Hey, I got it.
I just want one more.
I think it's like 3. It's a 46.
So if you have 45, you did not pay attention to I times I.
I don't even know what that is.
So you got negative I squared, but then negative I squared becomes, negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 1 gives a positive 1. 45 plus 1, 46.
Oh, I had it written down. I got buzzed. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's big. No, not like the actual. Just everyone in here. Are you saying that because I'm not in your grade? No, I'm just trying to learn. I am here trying to learn from this.
Yeah.
Holy crap. There's no way anyone's getting it.
I'd take that.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as I promised, there will be an answer key to the 5-4 complex numbers quiz review that's in your packet. So if you feel as though you are not ready or you need some extra practice, you can utilize that answer key that is getting posted on Algebra's 2 Teams channel. So that answer key, again, it's going to be posted on our Algebra 2 Teams channel. So like if you're in your Teams, then you would go to your Algebra channel right here. So like for me, I have my other classes. You'll go to General. And then when you click General, it'll show you our thread of posts. And getting posted down here will be the answer key to that review for today. Okay, stay in your seat till the bell rings.